Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, it's an overcast Friday evening here in New York City as we begin the Labor Day weekend, and it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. Tonight, it's the Detroit Tigers against the New York Yankees in Game 2 of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. A tough loss to the Yankees last night. They lose 8-7 to the Tigers to start this 4-game set. But after the game, there were rumors about a deal, and today it was made official. The Yankees acquired the former MVP of the National League, Andrew McCutchen, from the Giants. They gave up an infielder and a right-handed pitcher, both of them minor leaguers, and the Yankees also acquired cash considerations in the deal. So let's talk about the acquisition of McCutchen. How does it help him?
Well, it helps him in a lot of ways, and it gives him an insurance in a lot of ways. If Aaron Judge is not Aaron Judge, you've got to fill in. If Brett Gardner needs a day, if Aaron Hicks, gets banged up or something, you have filled a lot of voids by bringing in a guy that there's really no question marks. This guy, you talked about, an ex-MVP. He plays the game well. I think Yankee Stadium will really help him because he likes to hit the ball the other way also.
David, is this something they had to do?
I believe it is. I mean, we talked about it on the broadcast last night, and I mentioned Curtis Granderson's name. Obviously, Andrew McCutchen's the #1 name on that list, and the fact that the Yankees were able to get it done and stay under the luxury tax threshold is a real coup for Brian Cashman and the Yankees. Well done.
And the rumors right now, they're about $3 million under that 197 mark, so they can obviously still make another move. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup for tonight's game, brought to you by People's United Bank. Jordan Zimmerman will get the start for the Tigers, and for the Yankees is Luis Severino. His 17 wins, that's the most in the major leagues, and he will be making his 28th start of the year. Got to find out more about McCutchen. This guy was a big-time player, 5-time All-Star, won a Gold Glove one year as well. We'll hear from Jack Curry, Aaron Boone, and more right here on Yes.
The Yankees are scheduled to play the Detroit Tigers tonight in the second game of a 4-game series. I'm Jack Curry. Well, before tonight's game, one of the biggest topics of discussions was about a player who isn't even here yet. But by tomorrow, one of these slots will be filled with a batting helmet for Andrew McCutchen, who will be wearing number 26. Aaron Boone, the Yankee manager, he's going to welcome him with open arms.
We're getting a really good player. So I think that's exciting for us. And just looking forward to him getting here tomorrow, hopefully putting him in the lineup and seeing him help us. And I think his reputation precedes him. This is, as high a character person, as we have in our game, and I know he'll fit well in our room.
Boone wasn't the only Yankee who's excited about McCutchen's arrival. Neil Walker, who was McCutchen's teammate for 7 seasons with the Pittsburgh Pirates, spoke glowingly about McCutchen before the game. He said that McCutchen is the kind of player who becomes an even better player when the stakes are at their highest. That's the kind of player the Yankees are looking for. We've got Yankee baseball coming your way next. It's Michael Kay, David Cohn, and Paul O'Neill with the call. Stay with us. First pitch is next.
Spring sparkling, real spring water, real fruit flavor, and refreshing bubbles. By Coke Industries. At Coke, we make things that make the world better. And by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer. Some rain in the air here at the stadium. The 4 train pulling into the station at Yankee Stadium. And the Yankees have taken the field, so why don't we take a look at the Tigers starting lineup that will face Luis Severino. The starting lineup brought to you by Lexus. Jamer Candelario is at third base, a leadoff. Batting second, first baseman Jim Adduci. Nicholas Castellanos in right field is going to hit third. Cleaning up the DH, Victor Martinez, a big night last night. Nico Goodrum, also a big night. He'll be in left field. He'll bat fifth, batting sixth to shortstop. Ronnie Rodriguez, James McCann will catch. Jacoby Jones in center. And Dawel Lugo picked up his first big league hit in his first big league game last night, a double. He's playing second base, and he'll bat ninth.
And that's right, Sevy on the bump tonight in the Bronx. Took the Sevy to the levee, 17-6. 3.27 ERA. Those are really good numbers. Everybody knows he struggled a bit lately, but starting to trend in the right direction. Let's tell you a little more in our pitcher scouting report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And still the one. I had a lot of debate. They got a whole month to go. If there's a one-game wild card, who do you want? I say he's still the one, your number one starter, 5 and fly. It's really been the 5th inning this year, Paulie. In the 5th inning this year, his triple slash line, 324, 351, and 562 for a 913 OPS. It's those middle innings where Sevy's had trouble getting through, and I think the key is to get that changeup going, that third time through the order, become a 3-pitch mix guy again.
Severino's ready. Candelario is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch swung on and skied into center field. On the run is Hicks. 1 pitch, 1 out. I want to take a look at the Yankee defense presented by Geico. Hicks in center on each side. Gardner's in left, and Walker probably playing his last game in right, as McCutchen will show up tomorrow. In the infield, Andujar, Torres, Torreyes, and Voit. Voit against the right-hander tonight. Third to first. Romine back behind the plate. Severino's on the mound. And there's a strike. Ducey did not play last night. You see his numbers in 38 games. One and one. We'll give you the umpiring crew. Nick Lentz is behind the plate. Paul Nauert at first. Scott Barry at second. And Carlos Torres is over at third.
Strikeout pitchers always accumulate a lot of pitches, and then Sevy being one of those, you'd love to see him be a little more efficient. So you talked about the 5th inning, the 6th inning, where you're there with 60, 70 pitches instead of 90. I think it'll make a big difference. Huh?
It's a great point. That's why even though he's won 3 out of his last 4 starts, as you mentioned, Paul, kind of up against the gun a little bit with the pitch count and having a hard time getting through 6.
Fly ball, left field. Gardner's there. 2 down. Why don't we take a look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 73 degrees, humidity is 77%, wind 6 miles per hour, mostly cloudy and certainly cooler than it was at the beginning of the week. It was raining about 6:30, 6:45, but it has stopped now, allowing us to play baseball. Harper's on for a while here at the stadium as well. Here's Castellanos. He fouls it away.
Yeah, no batting practice. Neither team on the field. Tarp sprinkling when we came in. Never know, huh? It started on time, ready to go. Michael, where you are at 5:30, 6 o'clock, you don't know if it's sunny and hot or raining or cold,
You're right. I'm kind of in a little dungeon.
A little dungeon in the truck, talking to the millions of fans.
I hope. 1-1. 1-2.
Like the troll under the bridge, right?
Yeah, just hiding out. That was a good change up there, Coney. So I think he was listening to your scouting report. Coney said I need a change up. I'm working early tonight.
And this is a good guy. This is the one guy in the lineup, Castellanos, who is their best hitter, but also had success against Severino as well. Kind of a smaller sample size, but I think he's got a half a dozen hits and about 12 at-bats.
Swing and a miss. Strong inning for Luis Severino. Retires the Tigers in order. Tigers nothing, and the New York Yankees come to bat. Brett Gardner's in left. Giancarlo Stanton, the DH. The center fielder is Hicks. Then Andujar plays third and cleans up. Luke Voigt getting the start against the righty. He's at first base. Why? Look at the last 7 games. 11 for 24. 4 homers, 9 ribbies. Gleyber Torres at shortstop, bat 6th. Batting 7th, the right fielder Neil Walker. Austin Romine will catch. He'll bat 8th, and batting 9th, the second baseman Ronald Torreyes.
Jordan Zimmerman, the veteran righty, used to be with Washington. Kind of had a bounce-back season this year compared to last year. Really bottomed out last year. Signed a big long-term deal with the National. Let's tell you a little bit more in our pitchers scouting report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And no free passes, earn your way on. He's second in the league in the lowest amount of walks allowed with a minimum of 100 innings. And more sliders, more chases. He's pitching away from his fastball now. It used to be 70-30 fastball to off speed. Now it's about 50-50. And what that leads to is a guy who throws strikes and is around the plate. It's going to give up more homers. So his home runs, and at least from a rate standpoint, have increased.
Well, here's Gardner. He's thrilled that this is the last day of August. Calendar turns tomorrow to September 1st. He's had a miserable month.
Might as well end it with a bang, huh?
Why not? Hitting under 200 for the month of August. And the count 0-2. And the Yankees have had to ride their outfielders a little bit more than they would want. And Gardner is the veteran of the group. Strike three as he's down looking. He does not like that call. Let's take a look at the Tigers defense presented by Geico. Goodrum's in left. Yesterday he was in first. Jacoby Jones in center. Castellanos is over in right. Candelario, Rodriguez, Lugo, and Adduci is third to first for the Tigers. McCann's behind the plate. Told you about Zimmerman on the mound. And here is Giancarlo Stanton. Hit his 300th career home run last night. The 5th fastest in Major League history to that number. Quickly 0-2.
Quickly you understand that the low ball in the strike zone is going to be called tonight against Gardner and there again against Stanton.
Swing and a miss. 2 away.
Well, looks like Zimmerman's kind of pushing the issue, getting the ball and not thinking about it and just going after people.
Well, that is his style. Very aggressive. Last year kind of bottomed out with a 6.08 ERA. This year, kind of a nice bounce back for him. A lot closer to league average, and it's not what Detroit paid for when they signed him, but you know, Jordan Zimmerman's a veteran. He's got a lot of pride.
They paid a lot too, David. He's in the 3rd year of a 5-year, $110 million deal.
He probably peaked in 2013 with the Nationals, had a 19-9 record, one of the best righties in the National League. 3.25 ERA that year, well over 200 innings pitched. He was a real horse for the Nats for 4 or 5 years.
He's a tough dude too. On April 11th this year, he was hit in the face by a Jason Kipnis line drive. Suffered a fractured jaw, taken to the hospital, but he made his next start.
John Wayne story there.
3-1. Gary Sanchez with the Yankees not activated until tomorrow. He'll be in the lineup tomorrow. Three and 2.
Well, I tell you what, there's been 3 pitches so far just underneath the strike zone. All 3 have been called. So, I mean, as a hitter, you start to get flustered. You don't know what to cover there.
He gave him the old hand sign. Talk to the hand, didn't he?
Yes. Enough. Don't you love the power that they have with that uni on? Enough. I don't want to hear it.
High drive. Right center. That ball is going to be caught. Jones runs it down and hits the wall for the final out of the inning. So Hicks gave it a ride, but not enough. We'll go to the second. Brought to you by Toyota. The Camry Hybrid is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. What impact do you think Andrew McCutchen will have with the Yankees? Prime Stanton said he'll definitely have a big impact. He adds much-needed outfield depth, can provide leadership, and also has postseason experience. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Camry Hybrid. Keep the conversation going.
It's kind of a loaded question, isn't it? I mean, you can say, no, he's going to do nothing.
I think he's going to help.
You know, it's exciting, though, and when you think about it and you're going through some tough things, to know that you've added a player, it kind of energizes you as a team. Here we go. We're still trying. You know, we're still trying to find that perfect fit.
Paul, here's the best way to put it. When you look at all the offensive numbers for right fielders since Aaron Judge went on the DL, the Yankees have the lowest batting average of right fielders, and every other significant offensive category, they're 29th.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you've got two spots on the field. Victor Martinez all of a sudden is going to go back to his younger days. 2 home runs last night and shoots this one to left.
And this is what the Yankees are adding with McCutchen. 10 big league seasons, 9 of them with the Pirates. He's loved in Pittsburgh. Won the MVP there in 13. 5-time All-Star, and he won a Gold Glove in center field in 2012.
It's amazing. He's probably on a flight. They got that picture with the Yankee uniform on already. It's pretty impressive, huh? Robbie Kakuza must have FedExed it.
There's Nico Goodrum. Big night last night, 4 for 5.
You know, when you look at that question, I agree wholeheartedly on 2 of the 3 things. That he's going to help with the depth, and he's got playoff experience, and you're going to be able to count him. But as far as leadership,
lined into center field, coming on as Hicks, he'll make the play.
And Coney, you probably know this better than I do. Being traded, it's very hard to come over and be the personality of a team when you come over this late. But it's very easy to come, fit in, and help a team.
Yeah, that's the right way to put it. And with a veteran guy like McCutchen, you know that, and at least you hope that transition will be made easier because he's comfortable in his own skin.
Mm-hmm.
Former MVP. He's actually going to work in the right direction. That he's going to get a little extra adrenaline rush.
Right.
And maybe you catch lightning in a bottle.
And the respect that this guy has around the league. So Brian Sabian, the executive with the Giants, started out in the Yankee organization. He said, hey, we could sign him as a free agent during the offseason. He said, he's the best. I hope he goes out and gets a ring. He goes, he deserves it. He's that sort of guy. And when you talk to people around baseball, he is that sort of guy. People don't have bad things to say about Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah, 2015 Roberto Clemente Award winner, which is one of the most coveted awards you can win if you're a baseball player.
And to win that award as a Pirate means even more. Now, Jack, you spoke with Neil Walker, who was a longtime teammate, even in the minors in the Pittsburgh organization with McCutchen.
Yeah, they go all the way back to their minor league days. Walker played with him for 7 seasons in Pittsburgh, and he spoke glowingly about McCutchen and as a teammate. And Paul, he said something that I think would be near and dear to your heart as Severino gets to strike out. He said McCutchen became a better player the angrier he got. He said some people are unable to hone their emotions. He said if McCutchen got hit by a pitch, he said the intensity increased the next time he was up against that pitcher.
People are wired different. I've always said it. And if he brings some intensity, and you've noted it with Voit, just some excitement, just something that kind of out of the norm of his team. This team has been so businesslike because they've had such a great year win-loss. But, you know, you need some excitement, some intensity once in a while.
Yeah, you can't sit around and sing Kumbaya all day. You know.
I can't. I don't know the words.
And, guys, one more thing, and Walker spoke at length about his former teammate, but as we just showed that picture, McCutchen has facial hair. The Yankees have a grooming policy. McCutchen trimmed back his beard and sent a picture to Walker and said, "How's this?" And Walker said, "Not good. You got to break that trimmer out again. You're going to have to get those whiskers off." So he had some fun with that. But he also spoke just about McCutchen's ability to come here and get ready to work. And that's what McCutchen said on Twitter. He is ready to throw on the pinstripes and get to work. And yes, a freshly shaved face is on its way for McCutchen.
One and two on McCann. Well, he'll be here tomorrow, and he'll be in the lineup tomorrow. And the trade was made before midnight tonight, so that certainly means that he would be eligible for a playoff spot on the roster. Swing and a foul ball. And that got a lot of McCann's foot.
Yeah, another good changeup from Severino there, diving down and in. See the changeup grip and the movement, and McCann way out in front and beats it down right off of his foot. But I love the mix early. Romine getting Severino into a pitching mode. All three of his pitches working in the first couple of innings.
You know, Courtney, is there a way, I don't know if it's the grip or the release of that changeup. You saw the changeup kind of moving in, which is good, but ideally the toughest pitch to hit is that changeup that kind of goes away and it goes down. Is that
That's the hardest one to throw. You got to hang on to it longer. Your release point has to be perfect. The pitch naturally wants to fade.
Right.
Naturally wants to go left to right with the movement. You know, a lot of times if you have trouble getting it down and away, if you're a right-handed pitcher to a right-handed batter, you're almost better off sometimes throwing it down and in and letting the hitter swing over the top of it. Make sure it's a ball down and in. But the happy zone is that middle end. That's the one that, you know, it can be a home run. It speeds up the batter's bat. A hanging changeup can go a long way too. That's it right there. You ask, you shall receive. But nonetheless, a high quality pitch there. McCann took it. And this is exactly what you're talking about, Paulie. Change up down and away. Just a little too low. McCann spit on it.
Yeah, that's the one you don't get beat with. I mean, even if it's hit, you don't get hurt or it's a ball. And the one up in the strike zone you were talking about ends up in the seats.
Strike three. McCann down looking. Third strikeout for Severino through two. The Tigers strand one. When the Yankees take on the Tigers, it's pullover jacket day, and the first 10,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankees pullover jacket courtesy of Ford. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
I tell you, Michael, they have done so many neat things on the scoreboard this year. They really have upped their game. And between innings, it was, you know, the lookalikes. And Coney and I, we're laughing up here. It's CC Sabathia, and he put glasses on. He looked like Forrest Whitaker.
It was pretty close. It was a good one.
Oh, yeah. Aaron Judge, who was the basketball player he looked like.
Aaron Gordon, I think.
Aaron Gordon. I mean, it's some of these things they're doing on the scoreboard is worth the price of admission around here.
Here's Andujar, and he swings and misses. Austin Romine said Dane Cook, and he does look a little like the comedian Dane Cook. The 0-1. 1-1. Andujar, Voit, and Torres against Zimmerman. Right field, Castellanos makes the play. Zimmerman is from Auburndale, Wisconsin, and he still lives in Auburndale, Wisconsin, which has a population of 738 people.
Wow.
No stoplights, a couple of bars, a gas station, and a railroad track.
And a long, cold winter in Wisconsin.
Can you imagine, though, how far $110 million goes in Auburndale, Wisconsin?
By the city 2 or 3 times.
Check swing by Voit, 1-0. So we wondered this yesterday. Boone is riding the hot hand, and Voit had that big home run yesterday. He's in the lineup against a righty. Soft ground ball right back to Zimmerman. 2 outs. What's he doing there, Paul? What was he?
Well, it's just kind of remembering where you want to be and how you want to swing and what he did. You know, the first movement he showed, he dropped, and he was kind of under the hand. You want to stay on top of the ball. It's just kind of a reminder when you're talking to yourself. We saw him last night at the plate, talking to himself, and you know, you always want to remind yourself mechanically where, you know, what you want to do.
Here's a red-hot Gleyber Torres. He's hitting .400 in his last 50 at-bats. Last 13 games, he has a gaudy on-base percentage of .500. So you see how hot he's been in his last 13 games. Ground ball. Rodriguez in the dirt, scooped up by Ducey, and that'll do it as the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3 against Zimmerman, and we'll go to the third. 0-0. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, by People's United Bank, no mascot but lots of fans, member FDIC, and by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on all models. Well, the weather clearing just a bit as we move to the third inning of the stadium. Here's Jones. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it off.
Well, it's definitely been the game plan, Paul. There's a lot of change-ups in the first 2+ innings here from Severino. Usually throws about 12% on the year. He almost doubled that rate so far. It's early going. Clearly trying to get it established. Romine calling it a lot. And we talked a lot about Severino's slider over the last 7 or 8 starts and not being as effective. One of the ways to counter that is to have a third pitch to go to.
You kind of move that change up ahead of your slider to, you know, your 1-2, and then you can add the slider in as it gets better later. But yeah, I agree with you, Coney, that to have a third pitch only confuses the hitter more.
To me, you can kind of save that slider in your hip pocket and use it to finish the hitters, which is what you've talked about. And we've all seen as he's had trouble kind of putting away hitters over the last 6 weeks.
Lined right at Torres, 1 away.
To your point, Coney, you know what? I can remember guys even with really, really good sliders, if you saw them 2-3 times in a count, you know, it was much easier to gauge where it was going and to time it. It's just, there was nothing harder than trying to hit a pitch you hadn't seen in a count. And I tell you what, that's a good pitch. That's just a good piece of hitting right at Torres, but that ball's down and away off the plate.
A strike to Lugo.
Wow. If you own that one right there, Coney, that's a good strike one.
Yeah.
99 on the knees. Well, we talked about Lugo last night, his major league debut. Double down the line. Probably slept very well after that first one. Boy, you remind yourself when you wake up, hey, I'm going back to Yankee Stadium.
Say Yankee Stadium is right at the top of the list for opposing teams to take batting practice in.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're not playing in the game, you see it. We see it day in and day out. The level of energy in batting practice. I'm sure Fenway Park has a little bit of that. Wrigley Field.
The old Detroit Stadium was a blast. You know, you had the upper deck kind of hanging out over the field, and I can remember hitting, you know, batting practice there for years, and just
Base hit. Lugo's second big league hit.
you would crush one up in the upper deck, and then all of a sudden you would look up at that transformer on top of the upper deck and remember where Reggie Jackson hit one in the All-Star game. Again, here's a first changeup that's really been hit hard. Again, up in the strike zone, little movement down. Lugo stays with it and just hammers it to left.
Quick throw to first. Lugo back. Lugo came over in the deal where the Tigers sent J.D. Martinez to Arizona, one of 3 prospects.
It's about the time of year I remember, Paul, that pitchers, especially starters, would get your second wind. Got through the hot weather. All of a sudden, it seems like overnight, the weather changed.
Oh, you're right, Coney. There's been a lot of changeups early in this game. And if you look at this count, a fastball strike, changeup strike, 2 balls, both with sliders. So he still is kind of meddling with that slider, trying to find the release point of that.
Swing and a miss. 2 outs. 4th strikeout.
That's pretty textbooks there. After, you know, fastball away, change up, and then to finish away with a slider down and into the lefties. I don't know how to explain it, but lefties love the ball down and in. And Coney, that was your bread and butter. I knew in a count I was going to see it. Down and in. Off the plate, though.
I think the key to that sequence is Severino was able to save that pitch till the strikeout point. 2 strikes. Now you go with the slider. Four strikeouts now for Severino, and we've talked about his K percentage is really starting to creep back up. His last 2 starts back up to 35% of all the hitters he faces. He strikes out. Really high rate. During his struggle period, he was down around 20%. So we see it coming, but we see all the signs. Severino's coming back. Back to the old Sevy.
It's nice to be coming back when you already have 17 wins going into September, possibly 18 tonight, huh?
Little blip on the screen. He had a little 7-start stretch there where he actually won a couple of them by grinding them out, but wasn't as dominant as he was early in the year. He set the bar so high early. We're coming off a game. We did a game in Philadelphia. He did, and just dominated the Phillies. Larry Anderson, the analyst over there, said he was a 2-pitch pitcher that night. Gas and filth.
Yeah.
One and two.
Yeah, he has. If you look up and down the, his starts, he has had some beauties. The game he pitched in Houston, where he absolutely shut down one of the better teams in baseball. When he's on, he's on. There's no doubt about it. The talent level is there.
Swing and a miss. Powered the fastball by him at 99 miles an hour. 5 Ks. No runs a hit. 1 man left. By T-Mobile. Remember where you were in 1995, Paul?
You know what? I saw this on the board today. I do remember. This is a pretty good day.
3 home runs.
Watch who the last one's off of, Michael. Tell me. Watch this.
Mike Harkey.
Don't think I haven't reminded him.
3 home runs and 8 ribbies. Pretty nice.
Take that, right?
Yeah, that's a day. That's a week. I'm getting ready for my radio show, and I've got Yes on in the trailer, and they have
checking me out.
They have a Yankee Classic on. I'm going, what? Why are they showing a Yankee Angel game?
Who's that dude with the mullet?
And then I saw you flexing the muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Seinfeld show came calling after that, didn't he?
I still get $52 a check.
Every now and then get that SAG check?
Yeah, a little SAG check. Oh, they must have shown a little $52. Must have shown it again. Yeah.
I mean, you hit 3 in that game, and you got mad at Kramer for saying that you hit 2.
They gave me an error on one. That's what happened. Then he told me I had to catch one in my hat or something, too.
Was that first take for you?
I think we actually did 2, but I think first, yeah. I tell you, the funny thing about that is we were putting makeup on, to go in there, and Michael Richards came up.
Lined in the right center, and there is Jones.
He's kind of, snuck up behind me, and he was kind of talking weird, and I'm thinking to myself, is this dude in character, or is this really who he is? And by the end of the day, I still didn't know the answer.
I've seen him interview. It's close to character.
Great show, though.
Yep. Here's Austin Romine. After tonight, Austin Romine could tag out as Sanchez is up the DL, and he could be proud of the way he stepped in for an injured Gary Sanchez. And he's done everything you could ever expect and want from a backup catcher. Handled the pitching extraordinarily well. Timely hits. Picked up home runs.
He has raised his profile to the point of, not a perennial backup, but other teams looking at him, hey, maybe he's a starting catcher somewhere. In 1 year, really has gone a long way.
Grounded to third, backhanded by Candelario. The long throw gets Romine 2 away. Yankees have hit 2 balls hard in this inning and 2 outs.
I'll tell you what, when you're first at bat of the game, you get good wood on it, you expect good things to happen, and then you're 0 for 1 getting robbed. You see this in Yesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer, and it still didn't get through.
A heck of a play. If you're a defender on either side, you've got a couple of strike-throwing pitchers, so you better be ready. Neither one of these guys mess around.
Right back to Zimmerman. Bobbles, regains, and gets to Reyes. And Zimmerman has been perfect through 3. 9 up, 9 down for the Yankees. They're going to check to see if he's out at first. And he's out at first. We'll be back with the 4th inning. 0-0 right here on Yes. Baseball on Yes, brought to you in part by Delta. More destinations from New York City than any other airline. Good things come to those who go Delta. Keep climbing. And by Toyota. Camry Hybrid is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. First pitch is grounded to second, and Castellanos is out 4-3. Audi scoreboard 0-0. You know, I have the greatest teammates in the world up here in the booth. I really do. I feel like embracing them because they know that I'm on a strict no carbs diet, and they just got an entire basket of donuts. And David actually offered me one just to see if I'd say no.
But you know what? Those tight white pants you wore, you can't get through Labor Day if you throw the donuts down.
There's a strike to Victor Martinez.
To have things in life, Michael, you got to make sacrifices, right?
You're right. You're right. How many munchkins in that box?
It's full. All chocolate, powdered, glazed. Joey bag of donuts right here.
Wow. Victor Martinez going out in style. He's 20 for his last 59 with 2 homers and 12 ribbies. This is his last year. And 2 home runs last night, the big one, tying the game in the 9th inning, a 2-run shot off of Betances.
Actually saw him, Paulie, you and I saw him do something I've never seen before. At 6:30 before the game, he had his daughters out running wind sprints with him.
Getting loose.
Skied the other way. Gardner runs it down.
I've seen a lot of guys bring their kids before the game, like before BP, bring them on the field, and he's enjoying it. Boy, you do this at Yankee Stadium and your swan song, that's a special feeling. And that was a big one there.
We talked about him a lot last night. He was a premier hitter in his younger days. Just a solid hitter. Severino, you know, he's got a great pace going, Cody. Getting the ball, looking at the sign, not shaking off, throwing strikes.
You know, that is really the whole idea. I mean, dictate the pace, attack mode. You don't become obsessed with making the perfect pitches. A lot of times the pitchers give the hitters too much credit and vice versa. Work fast, throw strikes, change speeds, attack.
Driven to right field and deep. Walker turns, looks, see ya. Home run for Goodrum. And the Tigers lead 1-0. He turned on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Goodrum showed a lot of things last night. His speed, his athletic ability. Now he's out in the outfield tonight. Wow, now he shows his power. No doubt about this one.
Goodrum. It's been murder on the Yankees so far in this series.
You hear the cheering out in left or right field. They finally heaved that thing back out on the field. A home run ball. Rodriguez trying to slow Severino down.
Take a look at the home run on StatCast AI, powered by AWS. So 1 in 100 came out at 101. And it gives the Tigers a 1-0 lead. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 6 for Severino with the home run to Goodrum. The first run on the board for either side. Jumped a fastball and drove it into the seats. 1-0 Detroit. Yankees app, customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Yankees home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast stat, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Top of the order, Yankees down 1-0. Bottom of the 4th inning. Here's Gardner. It'll be Gardner, Stanton, and Hicks. Audi scoreboard 1-3-0 and zeros across for the Yanks. They don't have a base runner against Zimmerman. Been a rough month for Gardner. 196. But David mentioned yesterday, August has historically always been his worst month. He plays the game so hard, maybe he wears down in the hot days of August.
There's no doubt the Yankees are short on outfielders too, so they've had to ride all of their guys through the hot weather a little harder than they would have liked. To me, it's so tough on these everyday guys nowadays because all of the extra guys are in the bullpen. Traditionally, you've only got 3 extra guys on the bench nowadays.
Fly ball, long run for Goodrum. He can't make the play.
I'll tell you what, just to get to this point, to even make an effort at this play, I mean, he went a long way. This wasn't a high fly ball.
It's the guy that played first base last night.
Yeah.
And a heck of an athlete.
Been efficient for sure. 36 pitches here in the fourth. The 1-2. Ooh, that jumped up and hit Gardner. Looks like he's okay. Must have gotten him on the shoulder.
Little split finger grip. Gets Gardner off the end of the bat. When we talk about strike throwers, you hear that cliche a lot. This guy's a strike thrower. Well, the numbers bear it out. Him and Severino really are both in the top 5. Highest strike rate, AL pitchers. Minimum 1,500 pitches. Jordan Zimmerman, number 4. Little under 68% of the time, his pitches are strikes.
Swing and a miss. And Gardner strikes out for the second time. And that'll bring up Giancarlo Stanton. It's time for the Jeep Hitter Scatter Report, Paul.
And I like this one tonight, Michael, all right? Kind of got that one out of the way. You're talking about number 300 after 50 plate appearances without a home run. All-time great power, though, per plate appearance. The only players with more home runs, Mark McGwire and Babe Ruth.
Wow.
And he's in there every day. This is his 84th straight game. So the Yankees have been able to really lean on him. Anytime you can put Babe Ruth in a scouting report, that's good.
I think he's answered the bell. I think he's been everything the Yankees could have hoped when they made that trade. Is he going to hit 59 home runs? No, he's not, but he's been outstanding for them. And remember, a slow start as well.
Yeah. You truly know that every time you bring, whether it's a young kid or a star to New York, you know, there is a slight adjustment period, and you know he went through that in April. Next year he won't go through that, so you know he could even be better. You never really know a player from a distance. You know he's strong. You know he hits it. You know he's a guy who just shows up that is gifted, and then you see him day in and day out. You see how he takes care of his body, how he hits extra in the cage, how he works on things, and you appreciate him a lot more as a star than just somebody that shows up and is gifted.
He gives you something too when he get in his post-game press conferences. Yeah. He says something. He's been funny. He's been funny at times. He's been honest.
First Yankee to get on base tonight. Here's Aaron Hicks. He drove Jones back to the wall in right center in the first inning. So the Yankees have hit some hard with nothing to show. Shift is on for Hicks. 3 infielders on the right side.
Last time up, I mean, he hit it on the nose, but he put topspin on it, and it just kind of made it come down short. You get that backspin on a baseball, and it'll carry out of the ballpark. But sometimes you hit them so good that it's almost like a topspin for a tennis player, and it just brings it down.
And a bunt. Tries to go against the shift, and it's a foul ball.
You see, he's got to get it down the third base line for it to be a hit, and you know what? Not a bad idea. Trying to get a rally going, but you know it's only strike one. The last thing you want to do is bunt it right at the third baseman where it's an out. You know your objective when you're hitting or bunting for a hit is base hit or foul ball. So at least you've got your swings left now that you missed your bunt.
2-1 on Hicks. Yankees getting Zimmerman from the stretch for the first time tonight, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Hicks down on strikes. 2 away. 4 strikeouts for Zimmerman.
Well, after the brush back, yeah, then he goes a little slider.
Very short, too. Not a lot of break on it, but very hard to pick up because of the small little dot on the baseball.
Here is Andujar, fly ball to right. That's in the second. They shift for him, 3 infielders on the left side. He couldn't hold up, 0-1.
It's one of the things we're seeing with the shift this year is more of it against right-handed batters. Generally, you see it against lefties a lot more. Especially right-handed pitchers and left-handed batters are more prone to pull the ball.
Grounded to short. They go the short way, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. Through 4, 1-0, Detroit. They don't have the biggest window. They're not the biggest market, but they do go for it. Thank you, Bob. GMC scoreboard 1-0. Detroit over the Yankees, top of the 5th. You have to be careful when you can smell a playoff position because sometimes you make deals that you regret. And one of those deals took place 28 years ago today. The Red Sox traded Jeff Bagwell to the Astros for Larry Anderson. Now, the only way that deal works is if you end up winning a World Series. They didn't. And Jeff Bagwell became a Hall of Famer, and Larry Anderson a good broadcaster. And then deals sometimes work out, where the Astros, right at the stroke of midnight, like 2 minutes before last year, got Verlander, and he led them to the World Series. McCann, fly ball, deep right center. Hicks turns and play it off the wall. He plays the carom. McCann going for 2. He'll make it.
Pretty much a sure double. This ball shoots off the wall. If it gets by Hicks out there, it's probably a triple. So, you know, it's all about the angles. I mean, you realize you're not going to catch this ball. And now you have to kind of play defense. And you see he's last grab there.
Another change up there that stayed up a little bit from Severino. McCann put good wood on it.
There's Jones. And a strike.
And coming to your point, here he is in the 5th inning. And this is usually that problem inning. You know, you might want to really find out if you found that slider and kind of get away that third pitch, your changeup. And now you're seeing some of them hit.
Nubbed in front of the plate, foul ball.
Yeah, good slider there. Unfortunate that it went foul. But
yeah, we've seen it a lot across the league with pitchers, and get another look here. Pretty good tight spin on that slider. Barely got a piece of it off the end. It's that third time through the order for a lot of pitchers, and Severino's no different. The 5th inning.
Swing and a miss. Jones down on strikes. 7th strikeout for Severino. One away. That was 97 miles an hour on the Fast Pitch Speed Analytics, sponsored by Fios by Verizon. Here's Lugo. And a strike, 0-1. Lugo singled his first time up in the 3rd inning. So this is his 2nd big league game. Paul, how long did it take you to be in the big leagues before you felt comfortable and said, I belong here?
Well, I mean, till you feel you belong there, it's probably the next year. But, you know, every single day you do become somewhat more relaxed. That first night is just, it's almost just let's get through it and let's hope that good things happen. And it's just a blur.
Is that buzz anything like the buzz, and this is to both of you guys, of a World Series game? That buzz that first time you play in a big league game?
You know what? I think it is personally inside, but, you know, when you get into a World Series, then you throw, you know, the fans and the excitement, and there's so much more going on than just the personal thing of, hey, I made it to the major leagues.
Yeah, it's more personal. Your debut, and we're going to have to look at this pitch very close. Another look.
Very close.
Yeah, it's an individual achievement, making your debut. The World Series, boy, that's the energy of the whole house. The postseason game, you know, we showed your 3 home run game in 1995, and I remember the first postseason game that year, Don Mattingly's first playoff game. It was the first one at Yankee Stadium really since the 70s, and the Yankees. It was
81.
Or 81, yeah. Right. And it was a long dry spell. I was driving to the stadium. I was starting that game that night, and the Deegan was packed.
Sure.
People got there early for that game.
Base hit right field. McCann held up. Walker fires in, and Voit cuts it off. So a single for Lugo, who's 2 for 2, and the Tigers have runners on the corners, 1 out.
That's a pretty impressive bat right there after just missing another slider. But see, that ball's off the end, you know, off the outside part of the plate. He's able to stay out there and lace it to right field. Probably not a lot of scouting going on when, you know, a young kid just coming up, Coney. You're kind of pitching in the dark, I would think.
Yeah, you know, he's obviously has good contact skills. He's fouled off some tough pitches. It's hard to get him to swing and miss.
Here's Candelario. One and 0.
It's amazing to me, this whole homestand. It's like the Yankees, it seems like, are never the aggressor offensively. It's like they're always trying to hold teams back of not scoring runs, and early in the game especially. And here you go into the 5th inning with no hits. And it's just, for some reason, day in and day out on this homestand, they have not come out of the gates quick.
It's hard to pitch that way. Yeah, that first playoff game, Paulie, 1995. I couldn't get through. I had to give a police escort. And luckily, a cop, one of the New York's finest, found me. He was on a motorcycle, and he recognized me.
Those are great.
Kind of parted the Deegan for me to get to the ballpark that night. American League starter, you know, you show up whenever you want, you know. He could tell by the look on my face I was panicked.
A little flustered.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall to see the look on Buck Showalter's face.
I used to like to mess with Buck a little bit that way. Show up at 6 o'clock for 7:30 start. Hey, I'm ready to go.
1-2.
Well, Coney, this is where you want to get to. Now what do you do with a 2-strike count with a man on third base?
Well, you've got the sequencing right. You've saved the slider once again to the lefty. You got the changeup there to get to 2 strikes. Now you can go down and in like you did last time to try to strike him out. And a good try there, but at least the sequencing is right. That's so important to me. Is if you get too slider dominant, the more you see, as you say, the less effective it becomes.
Right.
So obviously you want to establish your fastball to lanes in and out. You want to throw your changeup and fastball counts, but to get to 2 strikes is almost as important as the finish pitch. Still in the driver's seat here.
Swing and a miss. Got him. Foul tipped into the glove of Romine.
Yeah, that's a pretty smart pitch right there. He got away from the breaking ball, but still stayed in, and he beat him inside on a pitch, probably just in off the plate. But you see him kind of out over the plate. No way to get your hands through that baseball at 98.
The thing is that fastball in and that slider previously came in the same tunnel, like the Lincoln Tunnel, coming right through on the same plane. New school theories behind tunneling your pitches. Same release point, same plane they come in on, and makes them much more effective because the movement's so late.
Here's Jim Adduci, and rip past Voit and down the right field line. McCann scores. Lugo rounding third. He's coming home. The throw is not in time. Adduci goes to third, and it's 3-0 Detroit.
This has been another problem on this homestand. The 2-out runners in scoring position, the big hits, the ones that really put a dagger in you. Slider just kind of spinning.
Tried to go backdoor with it and just held on to this slider and pulled it over the heart of the plate. And Adduci takes advantage. Hit that ball hard.
And Voit seemed like he was blaming himself and was doubled over in disgust, and then he tapped his chest, my bad, but that ball was by him.
Yeah, it looks like he was actually leaning the other way.
So a double, they gave him a triple. I thought it would be on the throw, but a triple and 2 ribbies for Adduci. That one gets past Romine, but he gets it before Adduci thinks about coming home. So 3-0 Tigers.
And then, like we said in our scouting report, once again, it's the 5th inning that has come back to bite Severino. Severino came into this game giving up 18 home runs. Added to that tonight, but 7 of those home runs have come in the 5th inning this year. And pitch number 76 to 100 from Severino this year has been a problem spot for him. 10 home runs on those pitches collectively throughout the year.
Fouled away.
We've watched Sevy for so long. We marvel how he retains his velocity. He's still throwing 100 in the 7th when he gets there. But these middle innings have been a problem for him. We've seen a lot of starts like this. Starts out okay, and then all of a sudden you have a little bit of trouble in the middle innings.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 9. But the Tigers had 2 on 3 hits. 1 man left. We're halfway through. It's 3-0 Detroit.
The regular season, NYCFC continues their push for one of the top 2 playoff spots. They face off against the Columbus Crew. Coverage begins at 8 o'clock, presented by Etihad Airlines. Right here on Yes.
GMC scoreboard, 3-0 Tigers. And Luke Voigt takes a strike.
Hyundai rhymes with Sunday.
Yeah, there you go.
Voigt pops it up. And that'll make the seats.
What does Etihad rhyme with? I need that on next. If we're going to have me reading promos here, I need the little, you know.
But you nailed it, though.
A little phonic, hooked on phonics. I mean,
Voigt goes down on strikes. It's so funny how two different people approach something differently. So Bob Papa, who's the radio voice of the New York Giants, came up to say hello with his dad. So I'm talking Giants with him. Paul comes out and talking golf with him because he does golf.
Said to get a little piece in there.
well, Jordan Zimmerman's had a good slider tonight. That was on our scouting report too. More sliders, more chases. In his prime, he was a fastball guy, Paul, and you remember him with the Nats. 70% fastballs he threw. He would challenge you. 70-30. Fastball to off speed. Now it's about 50-50. Chase rate last year, across major leagues, the average chase rate, meaning pitches that hitters chase out of the strike zone, for major league pitchers is around 30%.
And here comes Boone. They've been jawing with the home plate umpire Nick Lentz all night. Let's see if Boone gets thrown out.
Well, I think he's already thrown out.
Yeah.
That's why he had to come out. Love it.
I think the fans have been waiting for that for a long time. And you know that Boone lives and dies with each loss, but now it's manifested by getting thrown out there and really going nose to nose, bill to bill with Nick Lentz.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He established a low strike zone in the first inning. And, it's kind of been it's frustrating. And that's one thing. And if you're Aaron Boone, you can tell a lot up and down. You can't tell sideways from the dugout. You hear a lot from the players. There's another pitch in. Strike 3 on Torres.
Showed him a strike and showed him a ball. And
this is one of the pitches in question. That didn't seem that bad.
Yeah, well,
the first pitch of that sequence maybe
yeah.
was down, the first strike, but the last call strike, that's a strike. Pretty aggressive finger point too.
Yeah, but look at that pitch right there. That pitch is off the outside corner, down and away, when it sets up the whole count. That's not a strike.
Fly ball center field. So that'll do it. 3 up, 3 down, 1 manager out. We played 5. Aaron Boone gets thrown out, but gives a catching lesson to Nick Lentz. An aggressive Boone ejected. Game on Yes, catch an all-new episode of Forbes Sports Money as we serve up a profile on the business behind the U.S. Open Tennis Championship. Plus, catch an exclusive interview with Patrick McEnroe. That's tonight after Yankees coverage. It's right here on Yes. 3-0 Tigers over the Yankees. Victor Martinez leads off here in the 6th. I think a lot of what Aaron Boone was upset with, not so much the call against Gleyber Torres, but some of the calls that were called balls against the Tigers. and then they were called strikes against the Yankees. That's what really got him.
Yeah, we saw it in the first inning.
There were a lot of pitches low out of the strike zone called strikes, especially early. And, you know, when your team's struggling offensively, the last thing you need is to have, you know, to really only get one pitch to hit, a couple pitches out of the strike zone. And, for instance, the last at Walker, the first pitch to him down and away is a ball. Well, it's strike one. Now he comes in off the plate, strikes out, and he's out. So it, you know, it compounds itself from the first inning today.
Ground ball. Ronald Torreyes backhands from the outfield grass. He gets Victor Martinez one away.
I don't think that Brett Boone or Aaron Boone can get away from being a hitter. You know, you remember how one pitch in a count can affect the whole at bat.
Josh Bard's going to take over. You know, another thing, and you've seen this too, Paul. You can tell when a young umpire like Nick Lenz is back there, when he has rabbit ears.
Oh, yeah.
In that first inning, you just make one comment, and he's already giving you the hand.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, whatever.
We set the tone early. Now he's going to get challenged. You're going to test him. And finally, you know, he just kept looking over the dugout. And there has to be a level. We see it in other sports. You see it in basketball a lot, where there's a line. If you go over it, you kind of know it. But there has to be some sort of way to protest without embarrassing or showing up an umpire. And if an umpire won't allow that, and right away he's got rabbit ears, that's going to create problems.
And also shouting from the dugout, no one knows it. Nobody in the crowd can hear that.
Very difficult for a young umpire trying to establish yourself, your credibility. You're going to get challenged.
And you see Cole up in the bullpen. Severino, good slider down and in, but his 97th pitch. So, you know, you try to get him through this 6th inning.
10 strikeouts for Sevy.
How much of that reaction from Aaron Boone you think is just the pent-up frustration of this homestand, which has kind of gone haywire?
We're going to have a lot to do with that, sure. But, you know, a lot of things aren't happening well for the team right now offensively. There are some bright spots. You know, Severino's thrown the ball well. But, you know, as you said between innings, Michael, this is not the same Yankee team that was easy to manage. I mean, you don't have some of your horses out there right now. I mean, everybody talks about Aaron Judge, but, I mean, you're talking about Gregorius. You're talking about Sanchez. I mean, that's a lot of offense.
And Chapman.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it, too, is a manager's job is to protect his players. And if you sense that your hitters are frustrated with the strike zone, you go out there and protect them. You stand up for them, and it makes them feel good that you have their back. It's a lost art form from the days of Billy Martin. You know, the crowd really seemed to, as you properly called it, Michael, it's kind of been the reaction they've been waiting to see. Aaron Boone gave it to him. Pretty good show.
Soft ground ball to short. Gleyber Torres charges, fires, and gets Rodriguez for the final out. So Severino works a 1-2-3-6 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-0 Detroit. David.
Well, Jordan Zimmerman came to play tonight. You see a little backdoor slider. That's the strike zone that Aaron Boone didn't like. Right after him with the fastball. Then when you start to get calls, you get him to chase. And it has been tight. We told you in the scout report that he pitches away from his fastball a lot nowadays. Little front door slider there. Very effective. Yankees with no hits and only one base runner, a walk, and 6 strikeouts for Jordan Zimmerman so far tonight.
So looking for their first hit here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be 8-9-1. Romine, Torreyes, and Gardner. Fouled away. A.J. Cole continuing to warm, so he'll pitch the 7th inning as Severino's over 100 pitches inside. Up the middle and past Lugo into center field, so Romine will reach. Waiting to see how they score that. And it's an error. Yankees still looking for their first hit. I'll put it up in a moment, but it's an E4.
And that's the right call.
Yeah, right through the wickets there. No doubt about it. It's kind of an in-between hop, but
this could be 2. There's 1. Not in time as Torreyes beats it out.
Well, first pitch swinging. And the only thing that saves him is his speed and getting out of the box. Just 65 pitches so far from Zimmerman. 1 out here in the 6th.
Gardner struck out twice against the Tigers righty. Zimmerman has actually pitched a no-hitter in his career in 2014 when he was with the Nationals against the Marlins. Last day of the year, they won 1-0, and an unbelievable play by Steven Souza Jr. making a diving catch in left center on a Christian Yelich line drive for the final out.
That was dramatic.
And after the game, Zimmerman said that he would get Souza whatever he wanted as a gift. And all Souza wanted was a Best Buy certificate. And he gave it to him, undisclosed amount. Driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. 2-run home run. Yankees on the board. First hit. First 2 runs. 3-2 Tigers.
you could feel it that the Yankees were going to have some kind of big bomb. And Michael, you've said it time and time again, this is what they do. They string together a lot of hits, but they string together home runs. And all of a sudden with one swing, you're back in this game. Away, 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 and then all of a sudden a hanger right there.
Well, you called it, Paul. The first 2 pitches that were close finally called balls. Changed the whole at-bat, a 2-0 fastball, 2-run home run.
Stanton fouls it off. So a positive sign after a very tough month of August, the final day of the month. He hits a 2-run home run.
Yeah, you can see even by the reaction of some of the Yankee hitters, even after a home run. I mean, you're talking about the strike zone, and that you can't have other things in your mind when you're trying to play the game of baseball and worrying about the umpire. And this is a huge home run for the Yankees. That pitch right there, that's the pitch that was called 2 or 3 times in the first inning. And that, as a hitter, when you see that called, Well, you know it's going to be a tough night to cover that pitch in the rest of the strike zone.
I think the Yankees lead the league in bald guys. What do you think?
Definitely up there.
Bald is beautiful.
It's in style now, Cody. Half the people are bald, got full head of hair, they shave it off.
Three and two.
All right, well, pitch is not a strike, but
Yeah,
let's go on.
That's a tough one there.
Now Jonathan Holder has replaced A.J. Cole. High fly ball, center field. Jones there in right center puts it away.
Well, a lot of hope in the fans' eyes there every time Stanton hits the ball, but you always know as a hitter, you saw his reaction immediately. Knew he didn't get it. Kind of a spinner right there, but he knew it. Just missed it.
Here's Aaron Hicks. 0-1.
You know, Paul, you brought this up, and then we'll get off the strike zone. Just one final point. You know, the inside corner has to be the inside corner.
Yeah.
That one's drilled deep to right field. See ya, tie game.
There's a new career high, his 23rd, and Aaron Hicks to me is a guy that will sit on pitches once in a while. You saw him wave at the first one. It was kind of an off-speed pitch down and away. Boy, he got that inside fastball there and absolutely crushed it. Well, Michael, I don't want to say it, but did your manager light a fire here for the offense? All of a sudden, I don't know, is this coincidence or all of a sudden you throw up a 3-spot?
Tried to come in, drifted over the middle.
Another thing this did, by tying this game up, it puts Severino in a much better frame of mind.
That one's driven deep to left field. Goodrum back, trap, wall, leaps. See ya, home run. And Duhar, the Yankees go back-to-back and take a 4-3 lead.
I tell you what, you needed some excitement and you got it. You went from 5 innings of nothing to total excitement. I haven't seen the fans up like this in the whole homestand. 3 home runs and the lead. Wow.
The young man with a quick bat. That was not a bad pitch. And Duhar just beat him to the spot.
I'll tell you what, when you do have power up and down your lineup, it makes it very easy to, not easy, but you're very capable of getting back in the game. You know, guys, you don't think these guys care. You think they're just mailing it into the wild card. You know what? Look at some of the faces in that dugout.
Gives the Yankees 221 home runs this season, leads the majors by a lot. Next up, the Dodgers with 187.
Yankees have 3 hits. Lead 4-3.
Yeah, they came into this inning with none. All of a sudden, boom. Like I said, going back to Severino, now you leave your ace with an opportunity to grab another win.
You wonder, usually after big home runs, the players get asked out of the dugout for a curtain call. Should Aaron Boone take a curtain call?
Just come on out and bow. I'll tell you what, you know, as much it goes on in this game, I mean, intensity, it just leads to good things on a baseball field.
And the 1-2.
Coney, I don't know that you've ever been through this, is having total command of a game, no hitter going into the 6th inning, and all of a sudden, boom, you give up 4 runs and the lead and the no hitter and everything you had going.
Yeah, it can happen. I've been there, and you just kind of lose the wind in your sails, so to speak, when you lose a no hitter. See it a lot. The wheels can come falling off for pitchers.
You almost saw it happen with the air. You know that you waited a long time to see if it was a hit or an air, and it was given a hit, but then boom, the home run, and it just kind of snowballed.
3-0 White Sox over the Red Sox. Ground ball is short. Rodriguez, and a beautiful scoop by Adduci for the final out. But the Yankees come alive. Brett Gardner gets it started, a 2-run home run, makes it 3-2. Then Aaron Hicks makes it 3-3. And then before you can sit down, that man makes it 4-3. 3 home runs and a Yankee lead. His home run, and congratulations to Miguel Andujar on being voted the Montefiore Doing More Player of the Week. And this doesn't even include tonight. 6 for 20, a double, a home run, and 4 ribbies. Last 5 games. Jonathan Holder will come on. They're announcing right now, Paul Olden is, that tonight's attendance is 41,026. And that number surpasses the 3 million mark in attendance for this year, the 20th consecutive season that the Yankees have drawn 3 million or more fans. Cadillac scoreboard, 4-3 Yankees lead. James McCann against Jonathan Holder. So once it became a 1-run lead, they sat down Cole, or 1-run deficit, they sat down Cole, Holder was up. And now it's a 1-run lead for the Yankees that he's trying to hold. And if the Yankees have a lead going into the 9th inning, who will close after last night?
Well, you got to think that Robertson or Britton will definitely be there in the 9th. Not because Betances gave it up, but he also had a tough outing, and he cut his finger open last night too.
Popped up. Torreyes on the way.
Well, it kind of gives a whole different perspective on Sevy's start tonight too. And you tend to all the mistakes or the couple of little pitches that he gave up hits on are so magnified when your offense isn't scoring. Now you look at Sevy's line: 10 strikeouts, no walks, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs.
And Coney, as you said, and it was very evident early in the game, he used his changeup much more, and might be something he's going to go to.
That one's popped up. Long run for Gardner, and he can't make the play. So a base hit for Jones.
I'll tell you what, that could have been a serious collision there, but I tell you what, Torreyes made a tremendous recovery here. to keep him at first base. Just absolutely in the middle right there. And as a left fielder, you really can't call it. Both sliding good, but look at Torres. Just heads up play up, sees the ball, gets it in, keep him at first base.
Yeah, Torres was so quick getting out there. Gardner had to pull up a little bit. It looked like Gardner might have had a chance, but he had to hold up. Speedy Torres out there.
Here's Lugo. 1-on-1 out.
You got to figure if you're Torres, you're going to lose most of those collisions, huh? Especially when Judge or Stanton's out and right.
Yeah, you go low, I'll go high.
We're in the 7th, 4-3 Yankees. Popped up. Voit and Torres. And they run out of room.
But nonetheless, you know, when we try to evaluate Luis Severino, you slice and dice and dissect, and he set the bar so high. 3rd in the Cy Young Award last year. This year at the first 18 starts, dynamite. And then all of a sudden, well, he had 2 or 3 really bad starts, and then some grinded out starts. And then collectively, you look at the numbers and you say, wow, it's, you know, he's in an 11-start slump. That's not exactly the case. This was a good start tonight. Definitely a step in the right direction. He's won 3 out of his last 4. Not the best of starts, but managing the damage kind of starts.
Now, were the Yankees energized by Boone's dramatic ejection? Nick Lentz did the honors. And Jack, you have a little something on Nick Lentz?
Yeah, Nick Lentz is actually a fill-in umpire with this crew. He's filling in for Dana DeMuth, who is out for the season following surgery. But Lentz is viewed as a rising star in the umpiring ranks, guys. Made his debut in 2016 as a 26-year-old. And then I reached out to some people who evaluate umpires, and they said that he's gotten high ratings this year. I'm sure Aaron Boone would argue that, and the Yankees would argue that vehemently today.
Ice is 28 years old.
You know, growing pains of young players and young umpires, Michael. That's what it is.
Runner goes. Driven out to right field. Let's see if they can turn the double play. Walker makes the catch. Here's the throw, the first. It is not handled by Voit, but Jones would have been back.
Yeah, Michael, I think you're right. He's in there anyway. Voit tries to get a little swipe catch. A break for the Yankees, though. The ball being hit in the air. A great jump from first base. Zach Britton up. So let's take him off the list of the ninth, though.
I think the original plan as far as bullpen management goes, and this is obviously with a healthy Aroldis Chapman, was to have Britton be like the Andrew Miller role of a couple years ago. And I think that was the laid out plan. Use him as the super reliever, so to speak. But Chapman's not here right now.
And again, I said it last night. The night he came in and threw multiple innings, he got through more than one inning, and he's very capable of doing that because he's not tricking anybody. I mean, at 95, 90 mile an hour sinker, you can just continue to throw that when he has his control.
Yeah, bowling for dollars, right? Just throwing bowling balls in there when he's right.
Did they have that in Kansas City?
Yes.
They did?
Bowling for dollars.
Because Bob Murphy used to host it here in New York.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that wasn't a syndicated show all over the place?
I think
it's just like a local thing?
I think every local station had a bowling for dollars.
thought he was making fun of Kansas City, Connie. It's
No,
like we don't
no,
get
no.
anything in the Midwest or something. Did you have the Gong Show here, Michael?
Oh, yeah, that was Chuck Barris. Yeah. That one is looped into left field. It's going to be a base hit for Candelario. And Gardner will get it in. Moving to second is Jones.
Well, if you're Holder, you got to think you got to be kidding me. That's a second bloop hit. But you got to continue to make good pitches and trust that you're going to get an out too.
And here's Josh Bard, who's filling in for Boone after Boone was ejected. So he is going to call on Zach Britton with Jim Adduci due up. Tying runs at second base. Yankees lead 4-3. Stay right where you are.
Schedule with a late afternoon showdown against the Tigers. Coverage begins at 3 with the Audi batting practice today and the Chevy Yankees pregame. And then we're back for the call. That's right here on Yes and streaming on Fox Sport Go.
And there's the matchup. Daniel Norris against Masahiro Tanaka. So be here for that. So they call on Britton here to get the final out of the 7th.
We can't reschedule that a little bit, move it up 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock?
No, I don't think that's possible.
No?
But, I mean, you are Paul O'Neill. You can get things done.
That's why we're playing at 4.
All right, so Mikey Matuk is going to pinch hit for Ducey. Time runs at second. Yankees lead 4-3. One and 0. Line drive, base hit to right field. Here comes Jones. He's going to score. The throw to third. Candelario is out, but the run crossed before the out was made, and the game is tied at 4. The inning is over, but the pinch hitter Matuk with an RBI single to right field. 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 man left on base. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. This game is tied at 4, but we'll stay right here as we honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest who is joined by his family. United States Navy Radio Man 2nd Class, soon to be 100 years old, Herbert Gaines from the Bronx, who served in World War II. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, white
And that's high praise from Flash about Boone's catching technique. Time for the game summary, brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. It's tied at 4. Zimmerman 6 innings. Severino went 6. Brett Gardner's 2-run home run lit up the Yankees in the crowd. Then Hicks and Andujar back-to-back gave the Yankees a lead, but Matuk's pinch hit single tied the game. He takes over in left field. Goodrum moves from left field to first base because Matuk pinch hit for Ducey. Lewis Coleman is the new pitcher for the Tigers. So he takes over. This will be his 42nd game. Obviously too many walks there. Cadillac scoreboard 4-4 game. Two and 1 on Torres. Torres is 0 for 2 today. Two and 2. Now, it'll be very interesting to see how the Yankees deploy their bullpen to get the final 6 outs if it's a regulation-linked game. Obviously, Britton faced just one batter, so he'll pitch in the 8th. But if there's a lead to protect, would they go back to Betances? Would they go to Robertson? Is Betances healthy enough after the cut that he suffered yesterday? But you can see by the way they're deploying Britton, David, they just don't feel as comfortable as when he was a great closer for the Orioles at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. It's a valid question. Flash brought it up, you know, in between innings, last inning.
Oh. Nice piece of hitting by Torres as he lines a single right to start off the 7th.
You know what? Can you get better than that right there? I mean, to be busted in 3 or 4 consecutive pitches and then stay out and hit this slider the other way. I mean, can you be better than that at 21 years old? I mean, that is absolutely beautiful.
Torres average creeping up quickly over his last hot streak. Getting close to 280 now. You know, to finish that point, Michael, I think there's so many choices. It's almost, I wouldn't say an embarrassment of riches when you have, you know, 4 guys that could close. Britton, Robertson, Betances, Chapman's on the DL. I just really believe their original plan for Britton is to be the super reliever guy type, like Andrew Miller, as I mentioned before.
Popped up. Candelario makes the play.
I think the plan also might change if they thought that Chapman wasn't coming back this year as well. Then maybe they'd go to plan B. Okay, let's rearrange this thing. They fully expect Chapman to come back. When Cashman made the trade for Britton, he was a luxury. Let's throw him in the middle. We'll shorten the games. Bring him in the 5th, 6th, or 7th, or close. You still have Robertson that can close with experience. I've always believed in when you have a blown save like Dellin had last night, get him back in there as quickly as possible. Maybe not the 9th or the 8th, whatever it is. The sooner you can get him back out there to wash it away, the better off you'll be. I'd love to see Dellin get back in the game tonight, in some capacity.
Let me ask you this question, because this is puzzling me, where Aaron Boone has come out and said he's going to deploy the closer, so to speak, according to matchups. The 0-1. Fouled off by Romine. Well, I would say that every one of those relievers that you just mentioned, you cannot platoon against them. They're not susceptible to damage against righties or lefties. That's why the Yankees never had a matchup lefty the last couple of years in the bullpen. Their relievers are so good they can get everybody out. So how are you matching up?
Maybe personal history. I mean, you're right. It's a different sort of a matchup. It's not necessarily, righty-lefty, platoon advantage.
Well, it was just strange yesterday because, you bring in Betances to close, and the one thing that obviously is a disadvantage in this ballpark is to turn a switch hitter around to the left side. That's a matchup that you don't want because you're aiming for an extraordinarily short porch. And Martinez's ball doesn't go out in many ballparks, but this one. As Romine swings and misses. This just came over. Jeff Posson of Yahoo Sports is reporting that the Blue Jays' Josh Donaldson has been told that he's been traded to the Cleveland Indians. So we had heard that he is definitely getting traded tonight. We'd also heard that Curtis Granderson is probably going to go tonight. Pitch outside to Torres.
Donaldson isn't even ready to play yet. I mean, he had one minor league rehab game. He's struggled with leg injuries all year long. It's almost like a postseason move there. They got him now. He can get him on the postseason roster, but who knows when he's even ready for a major league at bat.
Yeah, that's really kind of a flip of the coin if you're going to get anything. You might get a lot, who knows.
Michael, you and I have talked about the bullpen management all year long, and to me it's more about leverage than matchups, righty lefty.
Right.
So I'm not sure if that's what Aaron Boone is referring to, but Paulie and I were talking before in the last inning. We thought that was a good move for Britton. Bring Britton in. It was a high leverage spot. Yeah, he gave up a hit, but it's still, that doesn't mean it was a bad move. You want to put your best assets in the highest leverage positions. That's the matchup I look at nowadays. That's the new school of bullpen management. Doesn't matter. You're not married to an inning. My 6th inning guy, my 7th inning guy, my 8th inning guy, my closer. You allocate your assets in the high leverage situations. Sometimes you win and lose a game in the 5th or 6th inning.
1-2. Popped up on the first base side, makes a seat. So let me ask you this, because this is always a popular debate in the analytics crowd. Do you believe it takes a different stomach to close in the 9th than pitch in the 8th?
Yes, being in a major league clubhouse, seeing how certain pitchers react to it, there is something to that. It's hard to quantify. It's hard to really put your finger on. I don't believe that, you could say Dellin Betances is better in the 8th or the 9th, that something changes in the 9th. He's closed enough games already.
1-2. Driven to left field and deep. Matuk back, still back, and he makes the play on the run for the final out. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We're going to go to the 8th inning at the stadium. It's 4-4 on Yes. More about 3:30. D.D. Gregorius working out in the infield. Still no timetable when he's going to come back. They think it's going to be soon. Could be at the beginning of the trip, which would be on Monday. No further word on Aaron Judge. Still hasn't swung a bat. And Gary Sanchez will rejoin the team and be in the lineup tomorrow. Line drive, a base hit for Castellanos as he leads off the 8th with a single.
We've talked about Castellanos. He is their best hitter. And right here, Zach Britton starts him off with the ball up in the strike zone. And if you're a sinker ball pitcher, that's not where you want it. Not a lot of sink to that pitch.
Hyundai scoreboard 4-4.
The good thing about being a sinker ball pitcher is you get a lot of ground balls, and here's a good guy. You get the ball hit on the ground here, easy double play.
Got the call on the check swing there. Your favorite. At least they got him to check the first base umpire,
yeah,
right?
but I was wondering where the pitch was. Coney, you said it last night or the night before when Britton was in there that, you know, the only concern about him is finding the strike zone. And, you know, right now, tough time finding that strike zone. He gets so much movement with that sinking fastball.
Three and two on Martinez. Veteran switch hitter batting from the right side against the lefty Britton.
Well, that is obviously, you're right, Paulie. The last piece of the puzzle for Britton is just getting it over. 16 walks in 29 2/3 innings as you see Jimenez, the righty, warming up for the Tigers. As far as balls in play, there's been 42 batted balls up of Britton as a Yankee, 38 of them on the ground. You have to remember that Britton's season started this year really in the middle of June, coming off of Achilles surgery last offseason. So his command is not 100% as of yet, and we haven't seen him at full bore. You combine the movement and the command.
That one is lined into center field. It's a base hit for Victor Martinez as Castellanos moves to second.
It's probably the best Victor Martinez has swung the bat all year in this series. Couple home runs last night. Look at this. This ball's out of the strike zone, and he still stays with it up the middle. That's why he's been such a great hitter his whole career. He's level through the strike zone.
Victor Reyes pinch runs for Martinez. And the Tigers are down to just Grayson Grenier on the bench.
Well, you look 10 years ago, Coney, this was like 100% automatic bunt situation. This day and age, you really can never say yes or no.
Oh and 1.
I guess you could look at it as, you know, Goodrum hits lefties pretty well, 282 average, and your chances of doubling him up, not really good. He has such great speed.
Not even showing bunt. It just seemed to me in watching Britton so far that the movement's there, but it's a little inconsistent. One really dives, the other one stays up a bit. He doesn't quite have full command yet. Excellent movement, 97 miles an hour, but with Britton in the past, when he's right, that's right on the corner. That's a strike. He could just pour it in there. He's not all the way there yet.
Three and one.
You know, all the more reason to get him more reps. You know, that's why if there's one thing that I thought maybe there were spots you could have got him in more games to work on that refinement. You can't get that by throwing on the side or playing catch and BP. It's the only way you get it is during the game action.
So, Britton has not retired any of the 4 batters he's faced. A base hit to Matuk in the 7th. Castellanos singles to open this inning. Then Victor Martinez, and now Nico Goodrum works a walk, bases loaded, nobody out, and Larry Rothschild out to the mound. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. The only out that Britton has recorded was on the bases, as Candelario tried to go from first to third on the single by Matuk. This is what the Yankees have in the bullpen. I don't think they use Green today. You've got Cole, Canely, Betances, Robertson, and Gray.
Yankees obviously all the way in with the infield, looking to cut the run down at home.
1-0. We have seen moments where Britton cannot find the strike zone, where the ball's moving too much, and that was right when the Yankees acquired him, right before the trade deadline. First couple of times he just lost the zone. And he's another one of those players that didn't have a spring training, not because he didn't get signed, but he was hurt and didn't come back a couple of months into the season. So 2-0 on Ronnie Rodriguez. Infield in, bases loaded, nobody out. 8th inning, 4-4 game. There's a strike.
You don't know that Zach Britton has been in this situation where he's trying to live up to something, where he hears boos and things like that. I mean, you didn't see this in Camden Yards the last 5 years.
High fly ball, center field. That's going to get a run in. Hicks will make the catch. Castellanos tags. He'll score. Moving to third is Reyes, and moving to second is Goodrum. So a sac fly for Rodriguez. Everybody moves up, and the Tigers lead 5-4.
Yeah, if you're Aaron Hicks, I mean, you've got to keep that double play in order. You kind of airmailed the cutoff man here. I know he's got a great arm, and every once in a while as an outfielder, you stay behind it and you think you can, but you've got to keep this head high so it can be cut.
Yeah, we've just seen poor fundamental play from the Yankees really for the last week or two. Some sloppy games, and Aaron Hicks has a great arm. He's a great center fielder. That was a clear fundamental mistake, especially with Britton on the mound. Even though the Yankees aren't going to be playing double play depth, the infield's all the way in. The real long shot to throw out that runner at third.
Here's James McCann. Kicks away from Romine, but not far enough. One and one.
You can see Coney, he's having trouble throwing strikes low in the zone where he wants to be. So, you know, he intentionally is trying to elevate it for strikes, and that's where you're seeing a lot of the Tiger hitters have much better swings.
Yeah, his four-seamer's about the only thing he can get over right now. His two-seamer is diving like crazy, but he can't find the zone with it. That forces him to cross-seam it, and that's the one that's easier to elevate.
Grounded foul.
Really the first hitter he's been able to jump ahead of. 1-2. That was a good sinker there. It's 11 balls and 11 strikes of the 22 pitches Britton's thrown.
One-two. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout. McCann goes down. That allows the Yankees to back the infield up.
Finally goes to the slider here. First one he's thrown, it's very effective. And when you get ahead, you can actually try to turn your wrist over and throw a slider. Not sure if Britton forgot how many outs there were there for a minute.
Looked like he was heading to the dugout.
There's Jacoby Jones, second and third, now 2 outs. 5-4 Tigers.
I'll tell you what, if you're Romine, man, on third, you got to realize Britton is very tough to catch. Ball's moving all over, high velocity.
Swing and a miss. 1-1. Britton trying to work out of further trouble. 1 run already in. Lined into center field, and right there is Hicks as the ball took off. But 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 men left. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees down by 1. Trips coming up. 2 more games though against the Tigers. 4:05 tomorrow, 1:05 on Sunday. So those are both on yes. Then to the West Coast, a Labor Day 4:05 start against the A's. Then 2 10:05 starts Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday is a travel day. And then 3 games against Seattle. 10-10 on Friday, 9-10 on Saturday, 4-10 on Sunday. And after that, a trip to Minnesota. So a long road trip for the Yankees. Joe Jimenez made the All-Star team this year, but since the All-Star game, he has not had good numbers. This will be his 60th game. 63 strikeouts and 54 in the 3rd innings pitched. And here's Gardner. His home run kind of woke everybody up. Well, really, Aaron Boone's ejection woke everybody up, and Gardner then roused him out of bed. The Hyundai scoreboard, 5-4 Tigers, bottom of the 8th. Jimenez, 23 years old, from Puerto Rico, second big league season, and the only Tiger All-Star this year. Faced one batter in the All-Star game and struck out Brandon Crawford. Big turnaround for him, 24 games last year, a 12.32 ERA. Tommy Kahnle up for the Yanks. That one is lined to right field. That is going to be a base hit. One hop up against the wall. Fielding out there is Castellanos. Fires to second. It's a leadoff double for Gardner.
It was funny, yesterday you were a little worried about Brett Gardner. Maybe is he just wearing down and getting tired this time of year, and all of a sudden, boom, big home run and just taking off here and heading to second. Good game at the plate so far.
That is as good as it gets, getting out of the box, cutting the corner at first, and getting to second base.
Here's Stanton, 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Third baseman Candelario very close to the line, which doesn't quite make that much sense at this point with a runner on second base, because a single would hurt you as well. Two and 0.
Jimenez is a big dude, Paulie.
Yeah, he is, and he's just letting it loose.
6'3", 272.
That doesn't look like program weight either. That looks like that's the real thing. All right, here's Stanton. I mean, that again, that pitch right there changes the whole count. And you know what? When you have to move the glove that much,
And
Phil
Nevin ran all the way from the third base coaching box, wanted to break anything up before Stanton got thrown out. Two and 2.
I hate to say it, but this is what happens. You start fighting yourself as a hitter because you know you have something taken away, and now that you take one, now you're in trouble with 2 strikes.
Swing and a miss. Stanton down on strikes.
About 6 inches off the plate, and Stanton just can't quite hold back. As Paul said, he felt like he was in a hole, and in between. Give Jimenez credit, though. Made a nice pitch on that last one.
Sorry, Conan. What happens is you just lose your concentration. It just takes you out of where you are. A ball, you know, it shouldn't happen, but it does as a hitter. You know, you're 2-0. You have a ball called that changes the count, and you cannot turn it off. And it just, before you know it, you're in the dugout and you've given the at-bat away.
Here's Aaron Hicks. His home run tied the game in the 6th inning at 4 apiece. Nice backhand stab by McCann. And that keeps Gardner at second. Hicks's home run made it 3-3. As I could correct myself, and then Andujar made it 4-3. Then the Tigers scored a run on the 7th to make it 4-4, and then a run on the 8th to make it 5-4. That's where we are right now. Tying run is in scoring position. That's Brett Gardner with 1 out. (2-0). Strike.
It's really been the pitch that's turned Jimenez's season around. Good command of that changeup. He's always had a good fastball. Overall control on his changeup, being able to throw it there on a 2-0 count.
Two and two. Just missed.
What's amazing to me is just his walk off the mound like he expected that to be called, and you know, 4 or 5 inches off the outside corner.
(3-2). Hicks works a walk.
Oh, what a great at bat. I mean, that's such a tough pitch to lay off of 3-2 with a guy throwing hard.
Rick Anderson will come out and talk with Jimenez.
It's a changeup. You can see the grip. Down and away with fading action. And it's become a common sight. Aaron Hicks drawing a walk, working the count.
Sixth inning, and Andujar does it. Gave the Yankees a lead.
See how fired up Luis Severino was.
Oh, yeah.
Gardner at second, Hicks is at first, 1 man out. And Andujar up. McCann doing some work behind the plate.
That's about as good as it gets right there.
One and one.
Well, Jimenez went right back with that breaking ball. I mean, you have to know by watching Andujar that he can catch up to any kind of fastball, and this is the way they pitched him early, and that's why he's been so much better. Because he's staying away from swinging at that ball outside the strike zone, especially the breaking ball.
Just foul.
Comes back with a breaking ball. This one on the heart of the plate. Mickey took a shot at another double.
Oh, it was like a tennis serve.
Yeah, way out in front, kind of got around it, but stayed through it enough to foul it off. Another slider. You see kind of bailing on it, but he could just reach it.
Tennis return for sure.
He's got U.S. Open on your mind.
That's right.
There in town, right?
A couple miles away. And Duhart down on strikes.
That was a bat full of sliders, and Jimenez, he finally threw his best right there.
Well, first one he spits on, and you're right, Paulie. It's going to be a steady diet of sliders. Gets him to swing at that one. Just there's the one he wanted. Out in front of another one. Fastball for show. Slider for dough.
Here's Luke Voigt. Yankees trail 5-4, bottom of the 8th inning. And another trip to the mound.
Just from this inning, it looks like Jimenez loves to throw the changeup down and away to lefties and the slider down and away to righties. Kind of set it up with a fastball usually outside the strike zone.
You know, and if ever there was a sure sign that the Yankees and Aaron Boone want to give Luke Voigt a legitimate shot, it is right here. There's no lefty warming up, and Greg Bird remains on the bench.
Yeah, that's a great point there, Coney. It just, I mean, he's deserving these opportunities the way he has been swinging the bat.
Aaron Boone described it as a fluid situation, his first base options. And that's not platoon. This is fluid.
Voigt doing a good job of stepping out, trying to slow this down. You go on my time. You can't wait in there as a hitter too much. You become a little flat-footed. Jimenez has made some mistakes with that slider, and they've been foul balls. They haven't been put in play, and that was one right there. Just kind of a hanging slider. Good pitch to hit.
One and two. And the pitch. Grounded foul.
Again, these are the pitches. I mean, you keep fouling off the good pitches to hit, and then you allow him to sooner or later make his pitch. It's a tough way to hit. You're in a defensive mode, and then you don't realize, you just missed two pitches that, were very hittable.
Just enough fastball to keep him honest.
And the 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2-2. 5-11-1 for the Tigers, 4-5-0 for the Yankees. Brett Gardner led off the inning with a double. Stanton struck out, Hicks walked, and Duhar struck out. So first and second, 2 men out, a 2-2 count on Luke Voit.
Well, if you watch Duhar's at bat, a high fastball followed up by a slider away. Very hard to remember when you're hitting. You're concentrating so much, but can almost guarantee from up here, watching the way these have been, sequences, you call it, Coney, that this is going to be a slider down and away.
Popped up behind the plate. McCann gives it a look and watches it go into the seats.
That's why we strike out once in a while, Coney, because he threw a heater right there.
Good job by Voit to spoil that fastball. And you're right. I mean, if you're a betting man, you would have bet on a slider. But another high fastball, probably out of the strike zone, but Voit does a good job of spoiling this.
Long at bat as Voit fouls it off again.
Just out in front, right? I mean, slider right there.
Yeah, I think McCann is why he went back to the fast, realizing that Jimenez is really starting to miss with that slider a little bit. In this count, he has hung 3 sliders.
Boy, overtime behind the plate for McCann. So 3-2 gives the Yankees a little bit of an advantage as the runners will go. Gleyber Torres is on deck.
This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming. Anything in the gap will give the Yankees the lead.
Crowd chanting Luke. Runners go, 3-2. Did he go? No, he did not. A check swing. The Tigers thought it was strike 3, but it is the bases loaded. They cannot believe that call by Paul Nauert. And here comes Ron Gardenhire.
Yeah, I hope they can't replay this in slow motion, because this looked like I was just going to say it as there was so much emotion if you're Voit.
And he gets thrown out.
What do you think, Coney? You want that pitch?
Yeah, they have a legitimate beef. If I'm Gardenhire, I mean, if anything, if that were the other side, you'd be arguing too.
Well, Gardenhire's already been thrown out. Nauert is the crew chief. So both managers tossed from this game. Boone earlier, now Gardenhire.
Did you see Gardenhire ask him? He asked Vogt, did you swing? I mean, that's right to the borderline. It's been that kind of night for the managers. You don't need to be a lip reader to understand what that word was. Watch Gardy as he walks by Voit. Did you swing? Look at that look. That's classic. That is so good.
That is so old school there, isn't it?
What do you think Voigt's answer was?
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Yeah.
Well, here comes Rick Anderson, and he's going to take the ball from Jimenez. So bases loaded, 2 men out. Luke Voit walks to load the bases, and Gleyber Torres coming up. I'll get some fresh gum, and now we'll head back to first base as Alex Wilson comes on to face Gleyber Torres. Jimenez thought he had strike 3 out of the inning. Paul Nauert didn't think so. And now it sets up Wilson against Torres. Torres, one of the hottest hitters in baseball over the last 14 games. Gardner is at third. Hicks is at second. Luke Voigt is at first. Yankees down by 1, bottom of the 8th inning. On 1. The 0-1. Line to left field, and that is going to be past Matuk and goes in front of him. He can't find the ball. 2-run score. Here comes Voigt. They'll hold him up in the last moment. And the Yankees retake the lead. 6-5. A big hit for Gleyber Torres.
I tell you what, it's been a fun game to call. Every inning, something good is happening for the Yankees, and Gleyber Torres is on fire right now. Pulling the pitches you should pull, hanging slider. Well, I'll pull this one. I shot the last one to right. A big hit. Torres 408 over his last 14. The 6.12 slug, and it's only going up. Matuk actually took one off the head to keep it in front of him. And Voigt did a great job because he got held up by Phil Nevin literally halfway down the line.
Yep, Ma took one off the head. And here's Neil Walker, second and third.
It's all happening here, but took one off the dome. Doink.
Wow.
That was a heck of a ricochet, too. That ball got away.
Bases loaded this year for a 21-year-old. He's 5 for 11 with 11 ribbies. And David Robertson is up in the Yankee bullpen. He'll come in and try to close it out. Yankees, though, looking for more, a little breathing room.
Well, Coney, that's what you should do with hanging sliders. You should line them into left field. Oh, man, big situation.
They give Torres a single, and he goes to second on the throw. Single, 2 ribbies for Torres. Tell you what, if that doesn't hit Matuk in the head, that's an inside the park home run.
It could go to the wall. He actually looked like he leaned into it. I mean, it's like, really? Watch this. Doink.
Almost looked like soccer.
Could have headed home.
Well, they intentionally walk Walker right on the old English D. And here is Austin Romine with the bases loaded and 2 men out. Yankees up 6-5. One and 0. Yankees scored 4 in the 6th, and now 2 here in the 8th. One and 1. Grounded up the middle and booted by Rodriguez. Voigt scores, and it is 7-5 Yankees. A base hit for Romine and a ribby.
And you can't say enough what Romine does with his approach, staying up the middle, another breaking ball, but put it in play, good things will happen. Put the Pressure on the defense. Can this play be made? Yeah, it can. But, you know, under these circumstances, bases loaded. It gets a little tight right off the webbing onto the heel. Just cannot come up with it.
Base is still loaded. And here is Ronald Torreyes with 2 outs. 9th batter to come to the plate. Chopped slowly to third. And Candelario makes the play for the final out. But the Yankees go ahead thanks to Mikey Matuk's head. It is 7-5 Yankees. Lorenz, John Flaherty, and Jack Curry for the WB Mason postgame. Try to explain this one, guys, after you give us the highlights, analysis, and the clubhouse reaction. Plus, I'll have a look ahead to tomorrow's afternoon matchup. It's only on Yes. So David Robertson will come on. So Aaron Boone gets thrown out, Ron Gardenhire gets thrown out, and James Smythe tells us it's not the oddest ejection tonight in New York. Brooklyn Cyclones trainer got thrown out.
Trainer.
One of the Cyclones players got hit in the ankle. The umpire said he didn't get hit. They had to take him out of the game. Later on, he was on crutches. The trainer came out, gave the umpire water, and said, by the way, you blew the call. He threw him out of the game.
I'm going to throw that up to Stevie Donahue tomorrow.
He's never been tossed.
Never been tossed.
As you just saw, Walker has moved to third for Andujar. Robinson takes over for Walker in right. One-one on Lugo, now 1-2 as Robertson's devastating breaking ball drops in. Lugo major league hits number 2 and 3. He's 2 for 3 tonight. And now major league hit number 4. What a night for Lugo. That one almost got away from Gardner. So Lugo's single brings up Candelario as the tying run.
Well, Lugo's having a pretty good little debut start to his career.
Ball hit hard and comes up on Torres. Not able to glove it. Probably could not have thrown him out anyway.
And that one gets past Romine as Lugo moves to second.
I think he's anticipating the curve to curve, and the curve doesn't curve.
See that off into the screen there on a breaking ball.
So pass ball on Romine. He'll go out and talk with Robertson.
You can't. You got to look at it as, hey, you know what, this guy on second base, let's get the batter. You know, you have 3 outs, you've got a 2-run lead. You know, let's start here. Don't worry about the runner. Just back to simplify things a little bit.
Get outs. Don't worry. Exactly right. The runner on second base means nothing. Outs are a premium right now.
One and one. Yankees were up 7-5 last night in the 9th inning. Up 7-5 tonight. 1-2. You have to be careful with Candelario. He has 16 home runs this year. Swing and a miss. Candelario down on strikes, 1 away.
You see Robertson after that pitch knowing he did exactly what he wanted, and that's to throw a little sharper breaking ball, but get it out of the strike zone where you cannot get hurt. Good pitch.
Good adjustment after the pass ball.
So here is Matuk. There's a strike. The 0-1. Another breaking ball missed, 1-1.
Wow. Every once in a while you get them taken away. Sometimes you receive them too, huh, Cody?
That call on both sides has been the problem. You know, and I started this earlier. The inside corner has to be the inside corner. Generally, if you give a little bit off the outside corner, that's acceptable. But that's only, you know, you start calling pitches off the inside corner, that's when both sides got upset. That's why Aaron Boone got thrown out.
1-2. 2-2.
You were with the Reds and I was with the Mets. That was the old National League strike zone. Okay, we'll give you a little bit on the outside corner.
Right.
But the inside corner's got to be the inside corner. Nothing off the inside corner too. Then you're taking the bat out of the hitter's hands.
And the pitch. Grounded foul, grabbed by Walker. Three and two. On deck is Castellanos. Check swing. He did not go.
No way he could call that right there, right?
Yeah, he could have made contact on that and he would have said no.
Yeah, he helped.
Yeah, definitely. Did not go as far as Luke Voigt did.
I tell you what, if you're Larry Rothschild, Aaron Boone, nothing's easy right now. No matter who you put out there to get these last 3 outs.
Saw the light on the bullpen phone just go off in the Yankee bullpen, so he might get somebody up in a sec.
Gary Sanchez.
And Dellin, Betances. One and one. At what point would you bring in Betances? I mean, talk about a big situation. It's certainly not going to be a clean inning he's inheriting. Foul ball.
Bring in Betances when you need a strikeout, because that's what he does. Better than any reliever, really, in some respects, in history. Over the 5-year period, Dellin is 1 strikeout away from another 100 strikeout season for the 5th consecutive time.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout of Castellanos. And the Yankees are an out away.
This one goes down. Seems like every breaking ball breaks differently. One will slide a little bit, one will go down. This one looks like it's going to stay on the plate and luckily dives down below it and gets a really tough hitter in Castellanos, the best hitter in their lineup and the best pitch he's thrown so far.
Well, that leaves it up to Victor Reyes, who would pinch run for Victor Martinez in the 8th inning. Reyes hitting .213. Big cut.
See how it plays out, but this is really a big break for the Yankees right here because Martinez was really swinging the bat well in this series. All of a sudden you pinch run and it comes down to your pinch runner hitting the last bat possibly.
First and second, 2 outs, 9th inning, Yankees up by 2. Now the Tigers are down to their final strike. Swing and a miss. And the Yankees win. But it didn't come easy. A topsy-turvy game. Big base hit for Gleyber Torres. An ejection of Boone. An ejection of Gardenhire. But the Yankees win this one 7-5. With that Yankees win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Yankees win, get a large 3-topping pizza for only $7.99 at papajohns.com with promo code YankeesWin.
Well, entertaining to say the least. I mean, the Yankees continue to battle. Robertson gets a huge strikeout on the curveball outside the strike zone. Hey, the Yankees offense battled, got him back. Maybe this will be the one. A lot of excitement coming to the ballpark tomorrow. Andrew McCutchen, Gary Sanchez.
And they'll be joining the team on a 1-game winning streak.
There you go.
We have a lot more to do. Stick around. We'll wrap things up. The post-game show after that with Bob, Jack, and John on Yes.